right, what's up, everyone? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Check here with you guys. Today we're going to go over a few things. I've definitely heard the group. The group's been wondering, hey, where's a couple things. Where are we at? So there's a few things I'd like to cover today. One being the ISM. It's another way to look at things, but it is a double-sided sword, so we're going to get into that today. So first, I'd like to point out here first on the graph, just for illustration, before I go into a standard definition of it. I feel that a standard definition would be best in this case. So right here, as we can see, we're going to look at Bitcoin overlaid in the business cycle peak over here. I mean, it's pretty much spot on. So if we look here, December 17th, Monday the 25th, December 2017, we have a peak here. What we can notice is on the axis is anything over, let's get it here, the lowest we've ever been in an ISM or business cycle here for short, is about 56, but the last two bull cycles we have been upwards of 60, and the last cycle peak we were at 64. As you can notice here, this is where we've been at, and I want you guys to notice something very important here. Okay, so if you look over here, I'm going to bring us to COVID. This is COVID. We can tell. We don't even have to look at the dates to know that's COVID, right? I was there. Altcoins had not been this oversold, and even in COVID. So in COVID, altcoins were not as oversold as they are now. It's an interesting fact, but it is true. You can fact check it. Right here. So we had. Let's go from this trophy here 119 to 20. Wait, let's see the month here, just to be accurate. I like to be accurate here. So let's go from just about August 19th. Yeah, just about August 19th to around June 29th of 20. Let's just call it around there roughly. It's pretty close, very close. Okay. Right now, we have been contracted since around the 30th of January, give or take. I mean, this is, if you want to measure down here or here, but let's just start here. We're going to say, since we're just going to call it the months, January 23 all the way to August 25. So you're going to notice multi-year contraction here, whereas you see during COVID, we did have a huge spike down here, but with a fast recovery, as you guys see. I mean, completely parabolic rally, right there. And so we've been contracted for a prolonged period of time, as you guys can tell, dating back to 22, 23, 24, 25. So we've had 3 years of contraction compared to COVID, where there was only 2 years of contraction. Now, we do need to recognize the amount of money printing that was going on during COVID. So it's one thing that I always have looked at, and so it does help, in general, to monitor the business cycle, but not get too overwhelmed with just one chart, one measurement, one indicator. There's a long list of indicators. I have posted those on the Discord, and so I just want to go over today possibilities where we could be at. I want to look at some various cryptocurrencies, see where they're at, and I want to see where we could be going. And those are the main focuses of today. And I'm also going over Dex Screener today. Dex Screener is something that, these are speculative assets. We don't get into any that are very speculative. Um, but I do want, for those that use Dex Screener, we'll go over Dex Screener for a little bit. The main factor here is where we could be going, as in if you do see here, we do have somewhat of an upward trajectory here, a little bit. We're going to have to monitor how this plays out. We'd like to see this upwards of here, but we've been in contraction for quite some time. And so let's look at the overall crypto market. But before we do, let's go into an understanding of what the ISM is. So the ISM Manufacturing Index is also known as the Purchasing Managers Index, or PMI, is a monthly indicator of U.S. economic activity based on a survey of purchasing managers at manufacturing firms nationwide. It is considered to be a key indicator of the state of the U.S. economy, formerly called the Manufacturing ISM Report on Business. The survey is conducted by the Institute for Supply Management. Some of the key takeaways: the ISM Manufacturing Index, or PMI, is a crucial monthly gauge of U.S. economic activity based on surveys of manufacturing purchasing managers. A PMI reading above 50, remember we are contracted below 50 at this time. A PMI reading above 50 indicates growth in the manufacturing sector, while a reading below 50 signifies contraction compared to the previous month. So at this point, we've been below 50 since 2022, and just prior early 2022, and late 2021 we started to go into contraction. The index equally weights 5 key components: new orders, production, employment, supplier deliveries, and inventories. The ISM report is one of the earliest economic indicators released each month, influencing investor and business confidence. Okay, so there is, if you look, I know some people may not be familiar with the business cycle, but if you look, the business cycle does align with every crypto bull market. It has so far. History repeats until it doesn't. So we can look at this and we can have optimism. But we also want to be making sure to make wise decisions. As the group has progressed, we have made some great calls, some spot positions. The market has been in the red and continuing in the red, but there are some things I'm going to get into today that we're going to talk about that could change that. So if you guys want, I will put a detailed explanation of of Bitcoin overlaid to the ISM business cycle for you guys to read today. And without further ado, we are going to go ahead and get into today's cryptocurrencies. So, all right. So we are in fear. We are approaching. We are an oversold, but we are approaching severely oversold. This, I want to make clear, this is my interpretation. Okay, I want to make that clear. But it's a firm interpretation on my part over the years. It's a firm interpretation of mine. It does not mean it's factual. You can, take this for what it is. I do not see an altcoin season without fear and greed being above 75. Okay, so that is another key thing. So what we witnessed earlier is we saw, oh wow, people bull posting on, and this is not a bad thing. I'm not saying anything rude or anything like that. Everybody has a different explanation. The altcoin season radar was over here. I was like, no, not an altcoin season. Everybody's like, what do you mean? It's 80 or it's getting up there. You saw some charts posting. It was it's taking these large dips upwards, all that means is at the current moment, altcoins are outperforming Bitcoin, which is very easy to see. And I'm going to bring up what the new meta is that I've picked up. This is a new niche that I've picked up recently, and it's very interesting. We have seen this in prior bull markets. The difference is usually you see this towards the end of a bull market, but we have not seen the earlier stages of rotation fully into the end of the bull cycle. So what we have is a few anomalies, and we're going to kind of go over that, and we're going to go over how we can position to get ahead of the market, and do what we can at in the present moment. Nobody has a crystal ball. Nobody can say, Eric Trump came out and said, hey, buy the dip. To be fair, he said buy the dip on Ethereum. It did dip, almost $1,000, but it did go up, and it did, go over 4,500. And he had posted, I believe, around a little over 2,000. If my memory is pretty good, so it's a little over 2,000. And so Eric Trump came out and did say that he expects quantitative easing. This group knows I am very big on the macro situation, and I have stated time and time again, we will not see any altcoin season without liquidity being drained from the system. What quantitative tightening does, and I know everybody here is very smart people, I don't need to go over this for very long. Quantitative tightening sucks up extra liquidity out of the market. So the way I put it is, you're filling up a swimming pool, right, with water. That's your altcoins. You have all the altcoins in a swimming pool. You're filling it up with water, and then on the other side, there's a hose taking out the water. Every time it seems that altcoins rose a little bit more than the pump on the other side, the pump on the other side takes over, and altcoins go down again. That's what we are seeing. Another interesting fact, and this is a fact, this isn't new to me, but a fact that everyone should know, is we have 100x dilution of the altcoin market. I'm going to get into that, some of the reasons why, and also this cycle has seen less people spot positioning. So we've seen more people step away from spot positioning and do leverage. We've seen a lot of leverage being wiped out. Now, that happens in every cycle, but what can lead to even more of that is if less people are buying quality altcoins, right? Because more people have been chasing more new cryptocurrencies, high pump cryptocurrencies. They're not taking them off the exchange. They're not putting them into cold wallets. And on top of that, a lot of new cryptocurrency traders have went to leverage. And so it's very easy for these exchanges, because when you have a cryptocurrency that's on an exchange, it's an IOU. It's not yours. You may believe it's yours, but until you take receipt of that cryptocurrency, until I've put that in my cold wallet, I do not own that cryptocurrency. And so it's very important that we understand that. And so I do recommend, and this is not a financial recommendation, but if you do have cryptocurrencies, put them in a cold wallet. If you don't plan to sell them that day, or within the next few days, then put them in your cryptocurrency wallet. Now, if you're expecting that, they might have a quick bounce and you want to get rid of them, that may be a reason to put them on an exchange or a DEX and get ready to sell those tokens. So we are in fear. Let's kind of go down the list here. I'm just going to use basic coin market cap. You guys know I like crypto rank, but for this, I'm just going to use coin market cap today. And so we haven't seen much movement. We had Athena take a really huge step down. MYX has done phenomenally well over the past 7 days. And so Astra's really taken a fall down. And so I'm going to point out various cryptocurrencies. This is one, is XPL. Okay. So this just came out. They're on Deck Screener. They have some meme coins on Deck Screener, I believe, or some tokens on Deck Screener. But as you notice, look at the new meta. Okay, you can't ignore this. I mean, and guys, this is a sign that these are insider allocations, or at least so groups getting together to pump these, or the recognition just from my side where I noticed if it's a new token, it does not matter the token. Generally, if it's a layer one, it does it much better, or RWA. But generally, new tokens, generally listed on Kraken or other exchanges simultaneously, have done very well. Example, XPL. I'll give you another example. Aster, yeah, I mean, that was a CZ one, but I'm going to leave Aster out of this, okay? I'm just going to name some of these ones to you. So I'm going to say XPL, MYX, Finance. So I said XPL, all right. Now we're going to go down. And let's look at this. So I'm going to name these off the top of my head. I'm not going to scroll down. So recently we've had Stable. So I will bring that up. Let me just type these in. I mean, they're all in my memory. So Stable. If you notice, they have a, these are BNB tokens. 10 billion max supply with 500 million circulating. Very easy for pumps. This one did extremely well as soon as it was listed. It's down since then, but it's down with the overall market. So just going into a few of these here. So you guys get what I'm putting out is new tokens have been the new meta, and I am adjusting the group to that for the current time period. So BERT was another meme coin. It's been around a little bit, but it didn't make the tier ones. We made the tier ones, made a nice little move. Not a great move, but just at least like 15-20% up. Not compared to some of these 2-3x's like we saw with XPL or AV&T. So AV&T is one, right? But as we look here, we're seeing red over the last 20 days. I mean, SPX alone is down 20% in 7 days. LDO, in the beginning of this cycle, this was looked at as one of the top performing coins, top performing tokens. I made good money, decent money, nothing too crazy, but decent money. It's a great cryptocurrency. It has billions and billions of dollars of TVL, which is absolutely insane to be a number 78. And so Quant really did well. I believe Quant was like at $85 just recently. $87. So I guess it has had a little move up here. And so, we can go over these, one by one. But the main thing is what are we doing? So I've heard a lot. I mean, you guys see over here, just red, 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 red. So we see Aptos. I like to use Aptos as a good example of the market. I know everybody's like, why Aptos though? Aptos is a project similar to Sui. They both have ties with the DM project, DM, Meta. Aptos and Sui go hand in hand. Aptos just has better tokenomics. I'm not sure. I think Sui's just a crowd favorite, but Aptos is absolutely right there with Sui, or Sui, whichever way you want to pronounce it. So we have an overall red time. At the same time, we have various precious metals stealing the show. Okay, so let's see here. We have precious metals really stealing the show here, guys. So with that said, you guys can see where I'm going today with what is up. These are all meme coins. Call them meme coins, or pump fund, DEX traded, not necessarily pump fund, but Meteor, or just DEX traded meme coins, or new tokens in general. Mostly meme coins, but some different. So we have seen some movement. This one's down 63.89% in the last hour. Ouch. Oof. Blackwood, oof. 60 per. Wow, that thing's bumping. You guys saw it here. You guys saw it with check, man. 80% to 56% in a second, man. You guys saw that here, man. You guys saw that here. Yeah, you guys saw that here. I'd love to hear from you guys if you guys have any questions. Yeah, no. I can just talk today. You guys can, hit me up anytime you guys want. And so, the one thing I'm looking at is like these are the gainers, guys. So this is me, sitting here thinking, and I'm, not just I'm just thinking of random things here. I'm thinking, okay, so we have to go and adapt day by day. In the present day, you have to adapt, right? Not everything is good to sell at a loss. I don't advise or suggest. I'm not a financial advisor, but if you sell at a loss, I'm not big on that. I am very big on getting people in at range lows. We've even seen range lows break to form new lows recently. Like I said, the altcoin sector has not been doing very good. But we will, continue to, adapt as time goes, okay? So there's still a lot of opportunities in the market. There's always opportunities in the market. And so for that, just definitely, grateful to be here with you guys. And so one of the top things I wanted to bring up here is the business cycle. So if that business cycle plays out, how long do we stay in contraction? So one of the thoughts I have here is the Fed has flipped hawkish to dovish, not so much dovish. We'll say a little dovish, but they flip, and when they flip, it doesn't give solid direction. And so the thing is here is the Federal Reserve was behind on rate cuts, was absolutely behind on quantitative easing. So, even though they announced the first rate cut of 25 basis points, they were continuing and said they were going to continue quantitative tightening. So that's just literally taking liquidity out of these tokens. And so you'll also see with a lot of older tokens that the moment they catch a pump, they get sold into. And so that's not necessarily only because people are underwater on those tokens. No. I mean, sure, there's some bag holders, sure. But really, it's because of the jitters. Everybody's got the jitters. I can feel them, so I know everybody else does. Sure, you want to say you can diamond hand everything, but the truth is you need to, get out with protecting your capital. And so I don't believe it's just, bag holders, no, it's not. It's not just bag holders. It's everybody. It's like, okay, I'm 20% up on this trade. Boom, gotta go. That's how I am too. I tell you guys, like, boom, sub squid, we're up. It did 2x. I mean, we killed that trade, but what's killing a trade at 2x? Not really, but I mean, in the current conditions, sure. In the current timing of the market cycle, sure. That's okay. It's good, right? It is, for the current market cycle. Now, sure, there's some I call them popcorns, and that's basically where you just have anything random just popping off. It doesn't matter the actual tokenomics. If it has, what's been going on is new tokens with a low circulating supply. So easy pumpamentals. So this is like 500 million tokens or less starting. get pumped very, very easily. And so that is the new niche that I picked up on. So for anybody out there, I will be posting these, but new tokens has been the new meta of, it hasn't always been that way. It used to be people invested in fundamentally sound tokens. People were, interested in the technology. Some, I think a few bull runs back, and even into, last bull run. The promise of decentralization, technology. Some of that was still true, but we still had the VC tokens and all that, and that was a super hit. And so this cycle, we've seen a lot of the VC tokens, barring a few. Like Sui is definitely not at any range lows. When I first bought Sui, I might have been late to the party, but I mean, I think I bought Sui at 60, 70 cents. I loaded the boat up with Sui and I sold it at its first cycle peak. Um, you know, um, but I mean, I got it way under $1. So Sui's held up pretty well. But yeah, so we're looking for new opportunities in the market, and that's what everybody here is looking and talking about. Like, hey, are we going to get new opportunities in the market? Yes, yes, we are. Now, I will be posting these new opportunities in the market. Okay. Now, I'm just going to go over to Deck Screener just for a few moments. And so, this is not something we always, will do, but it's just something to look at. See, if you look at this plasma, this is XPL. So one of the ones, this is AV&T off Aerodrome, right? Vantis is really going low. We're at $1.39 on AV&T. Q4 was one of those ones that I absolutely said was. This was one that I had my eyes out on, Q4. Let's see, it's the 4 hour. Yeah, I already did like a little. Yeah, little TA did work on that one. Just simple TA there. Pin it right there. I made boom, 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 up. That was magnificent on that one. Q4 definitely looked good on that. I picked this one out. I saw that one, so easy, 3x, 4x there. Just looking through some of these bring way more risk. But like I said, I won't be looking just into, these tokens here, but it's just interesting. You can also see various other coins that are mainstream, like Aster. If you wanted to trade Aster or various things, you can come on here and check the decks and kind of see what's popular at the time. And that includes layer ones as well. All right. So let's go over here. I didn't sign in. Don't worry about that. I didn't sign in, but that's okay. So, let's see. Hot activities. Let's see. Let's check into a few things here. So, so they raised 25 million, and so like these are interesting, and so you kind of like these are some of the ones that I'm going to be looking at. Good Polychain, yep, no, Coinbase 25 million, absolutely. Let's check that one out. Vanna, I want to see the tokenomics. Where's tokenomics? Doesn't give it to us yet, but I can find it. We'll see. I'll look at that. But these new token that are launching are looking pretty good. This one, IDOS, Backers Circle, 4.5 million Arbitrum, Ripple. Ooh, Ripple backed this one. Okay. So guys, let's get on this. We're going to get on looking at some of these. So you guys heard it here, IDOS, a couple other ones that we're looking into, okay? So um, I don't know if I like this one as much. I don't like the backers, but I do like Vanna. I want to kind of check out those. Oh, this one is looking juicy. What? Where's this one at? Galaxy. Okay. Forte. So this one right here, look at this one. Oof. Got super money in there. GameFi. So these are ones for us to watch out for. And kind of look at those. Not just these ones, but new tokens, because that's been the new meta. Well, anyways, guys, so I just want to say, just wrapping up here, that, going forward, I look forward to, finding various tokens, finding out where we're at in the market cycle. Now, things have been very rid, yes. Shall we have a rate cut coming here soon, which we should. Um, and if we get a quantitative easing cycle, Bitcoin can absolutely catch up to gold. Bitcoin usually lags gold. We'll kind of see how this works out. There's also some other precious metal details that I will be going over in the voice memos that we do, voice recordings that we do. And I want to talk about precious metals, where we're at with that, and just kind of getting an understanding of the market. But for now, guys, one of the things I wanted to share is the portfolios. Sometimes you cannot marry a bag or hold a token for the whole bull run. I think the group that's followed me has done an excellent job of this. They have, adapted, sold out of that cryptocurrency, waited for the next opportunity, um, and absolutely, just killed it. So let's talk about some new trades coming up, and I just hope everyone has a great day. Understand that not every also understand every September has led to pullbacks. The question is where we go from here, how October looks. So right now, my focus is not over trading, but not being under interested either. You want to stay interested. You want to stay on the charts to understand what's going on. Okay. So in that fashion, everybody, I want you guys to make sure your spirits are up. If you need some downtime, get it. The best way to win is to stay. I mean, it's just how it works. One token can change your whole life. It's happened before. It'll happen again to many people. And so, that's what we're looking for here. And I'm looking out for those all the time for you guys. Yeah, sure. Recently, it's not been the best opportunity. But we've done well with the tokens that we've put in, even tokens a month ago, like SubSquid, did a 2x, even in the midst of all this. So, constantly looking for, opportunities for the group. We'll be posting all week, new opportunities. So look forward to talking to each and every one of you guys. And like I said, the main points of this are we are still in contraction in the business cycle. Going forward, we need to kind of see how this plays out. We need to see the role of quantitative tightening into quantitative easing. We need to see if the debt ceiling is going to be approved to be, if we can raise the debt ceiling. There's other macro stuff going on in the background that I'm keeping a close eye on that we'll be talking about here soon. And, just keep on the hunt. I will absolutely be posting new trades all the time. So when I see fit, I do not like to post a trade that I am not sure of. I know people are like, hey, I want, trades. I got you. We're going to do some trades, a lot of trades. And when it's time, maybe too many trades, you might say, hey, but you can always rotate if you're in some profits. So we're going to look at these. Nothing's guaranteed in crypto. But at the same time, we're going to be looking for some new tokens. So Everybody have an amazing night, amazing day. I will talk to each and every one of you guys soon. I hope my insight shared a little bit with you guys. Right now, my current stance on the market as we end today's video, my current stance is that I am prepared to deploy, but I am sitting. Now, that doesn't mean I've quit? No, I am waiting for an opportunity that I see fit. That is a good opportunity. I'm not rushing to DCA into various altcoins and blow all of the capital. Like, say it doesn't matter your capital. Say your capital's 200,000, 5,000, 1,000. It doesn't matter where your capital's at to invest. Your capital to invest, it doesn't matter, but you don't want to blow it all and then be like, dang, I could have been in another project. Like I know some people invested in Subsquid, made it out with profit. Now they have that cash. One thing I recommend, this is not something that you have to do. It's a suggestion. Leverage trading. I always do leverage trading and scarcity. What that means is I leverage trade early on in the cycle, and I do leverage trade, here in the cycle too, but I do it less, uh, a lot less. The reason why is, unless various tokens they have asymmetric upside, they're asymmetric risk. Like one asymmetric risk is like Axelar, Sonic. The tokens are just beat down to hell, and those ones, they have that asymmetric upside. They haven't had much ups. They've had little upside, but more downside, and have even broken into, like Sonic Layer 1 has broken into new all-time lows. And like I said, a lot of these altcoins are oversold. Maybe some of those maybe would be good to DCA into, but at this time, I am not DCAing into anything. Holding the capital, looking for new opportunities. You guys will be getting all those opportunities. So with that, everybody have an amazing day. I'm out of here. So everyone, it's been great talking, and everyone have a great day. Okay. All right. Peace out.